Hey guys, still here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, where today we're going to have destroyer wars. It's going to be 15 destroyers from the French versus 15 destroyers from the British Empire. Our starting range, I had set initially to 16,000, but I think something in the range of 12 to 10,000. Let's go 10,000, might be more interesting. Before I kick it off, I want to ask for your help. I have set myself a goal of getting 1,000 true fans, as Kevin Kelly would put it, which means 1,000 Patreon supporters. And for that I can use your help. Even if you just pitch in $1 a month, that helps me out. Link down below in the description. Patreon, it really helps me out, because YouTube can be, well, it could be all over the place, ad-wise, or ad revenue-wise, and this is my job, and I'm still trying to make a living from it. Anyway, destroyer wars. 15 destroyers versus 15 destroyers. It's 1930, so we don't exactly have access to all the technology yet, but this should make for pretty interesting destroyer designs. As with the previous conflict, I'm going to make the AI design the ships. I'll give them the destroyer forehull, and, well, good luck. Okay, so this is what they came up with. This is the Typhon class. It has a displacement of just 3,000 tons with a speed of 41 knots. Medium range, which, well, does not really mean anything. I mean, sure enough, I can switch it to... I cannot switch it to very long or long because it's going to go overweight. So let's just set it to this. Bulkheads maximum. We have turbines, semi-fuel, balanced boilers, auxiliary 2 and shaft 2. Especially these two for destroyers can be important, because it means that they have faster turning rate, faster rudder shift, and faster turret traverse. The shaft 2 means that they have faster acceleration and again more turning rate, and also repair their engines quicker. Apparently we're carrying Krupp 4 armor, double hull bottom. We have anti-flood 3. This is optimistic. This, I think, means that if you get hit by gunfire, you might not immediately die because you can pump out the water. If you have a torpedo hit on a ship like this, I don't think that any amount of water pumping is going to save you. Standard bulkheads, light shells, TNT explosives. There's 20-inch electric torpedoes on there, and for that we only have seemingly one launcher on the stern, 5 tubes. It decided to go with semi-auto loading electrical turrets firing light shells. Rangefinder 5. Sonar 3. Interesting. These guys are going to be seeing... they're going to be spotting the torpedoes from very far away. I just wonder how good the AI is going to be at steering away from the torpedoes, just avoiding them altogether. Especially since the ships will probably be operating in formations. We got radio direction finder and improved radar rangefinder. Armor, 1.3 inch of belt. There's no deck extended whatsoever. No turret top armor, although I think at this range it won't be important. 0.7 inch on the secondaries. That's optimistic because there are no secondaries on a destroyer. So overall it's pretty poorly armored. How heavy is its armament though? Because it does have a lot of guns for a destroyer. It has a triple 4-inch gun on the bow. There's a triple 3-inch gun on the port and the starboard side. We have a triple 4-inch gun on this this mount over here. And then there is a triple 4-inch mount over there. These things reload in 6.3 seconds. They carry a lot of ammo. 1,215 per turret. Oh, sorry, and there's even one more. There's a 1 5-inch gun over here, which, all things considered, has a pretty poor field of fire. But it does fit fairly snugly behind that elevated position over there. We have 130,000 engine power with 41 knots, but can we get to that speed? Eventually. The engine efficiency is 32.7%. This ship's going to be suffering a lot at accelerating. This is not going to be too good. Anyway, it's the AI's design. I'm not going to be changing it. We're just going to take this ship out to war. I really wonder what the Brits came up with. What did the AI give the British ships? Alright, wait one. We have We have a couple of really weird formations. For some reason, the AI decided that it was a good idea to go with one formation of 4, another formation of 4, one formation of 5, and one formation of 2. Yes, that makes perfect sense. Although, I don't really get it. Let's set this one to join this formation. And then have the Verdun join the other formation, the second formation. There, we now have 3 groups of 5 DDs each. According to the radio position finder, they're detected to the north. I'm not sure if we already have radar contacts as well. This looks like an interesting bit of water over here. Could be a wake of a ship. Could be a random occurrence, but it seems like it's too straight to be a random occurrence. Alright, I'm going to hand everything over to the AI. Everything is now controlled by the AI. I really wonder how well they're going to be capable of using their torps and avoiding the enemy's torpedoes. Both are going to be a challenge for the AI, I think. To their credit, they do have sonar. 650% spotting on torpedoes. Is that enough? Is that enough? Currently, all the ships are heading in for... Well, I'm not even sure if they're in formation. Are these guys... Yeah, these guys do seem like they're tied to the Mameluke over there. It's hard to figure out who's leading. It could be the Renaudin over there. No, hold on. Judging by the lines, I'd say the Mameluke is the lead ship. Lead ship of the formation. Right. We already have our first ship spotted. In fact, we have our first 5 ships spotted. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then something else. Sorry, no, those are 5. What do you have? Not a lot of guns. Oh, they went torpedo heavy. This is going to get very interesting indeed. These guys have a lot more torpedoes. The French ships have a lot more guns. The guns of the Renaudin have a range of 9.8 kilometers. And these have 8.2. We already have a first spread in the water. And look at how early those things are getting detected. That's your sonar at work there. And immediately the Renaudin changes formation and avoids the torpedoes. But that's just one ship. There are a lot more. Renaudin listing heavily to port through the turn. I think it might be trying to get the torpedo launcher to work. But the torpedo launcher doesn't quite swing out around that fast. It does, however, have the first bit of guns going off. Although at this rate, I'm not sure how accurate those are going to be. What's your range? I can't even tell that. I can only tell that they have an accuracy of 2.2%. Okay, so everybody's setting up smoke screens. Seems like we got more torpedoes in the water here. It's going to be very hard to cover everything, guys. It's going to get pretty busy here. Also, I'm going to tune up the sound a little bit because it seems like it's very quiet. Currently, though, most of the ships aren't actively shooting. Well, some of them. And some of them have planted some torpedoes in the water. I really wonder how good the British destroyers are at spotting those torpedoes. Because this guy looks like he's making a hard turn to starboard, or was at some point. There we go. We can now see what the British DDs have, by the way. They have a top speed of 35.5. Unable to judge their engine power or engine efficiency, so I don't know if they're able to get to that speed. They only have 2-inch guns. They reload very quickly, but they only have a range of 5 kilometers. In this case, you could argue that my destroyer should be pushing in. But that brings with it the risk of getting hit by a torpedo. And since these ships are capable of firing they're firing 8 torpedoes each. There's another salvo coming in from this, what the game thinks might be a heavy cruiser, but which is definitely very much a destroyer. Yeah, that was the triple the triple launcher. And they also have the 5 launcher. This is gonna get mayhem. All these torpedoes. Look at this. Formation, my ass. This is going all over the place. Now, at least with the battleships, you have this sort of manly standoff. But these are 15 destroyers. There's nothing manly about them. They're just throwing torpedoes left, right, and center. And hoping that they do some sort of damage. And they might land. Yep, we got a first casualty here. Talisman takes a massive hit. And floods immediately. Good kill. If this DD, the Minstrel, has some bad luck and is not able to outturn that torpedo... Yeah, no, he's fine. Could have been a second kill. But this leads me to believe that the British destroyers might not have that good of a sonar array. They might not, in fact, be able to detect the torpedoes in time. Now at this point though, it looks like the Renaudin is taking some fire from the Parramatta. How though? Because we got all these guns. Oh. It's the classic problem of my ship turns so much faster than my guns. Hold on. The Renaudin is at 1.3 kilometers, but can barely shoot. Because right now it just does not have the turret rotation to get those guns on target. That seems to be the problem right now. How is that for the Parramatta though? No, this one is actually pretty good at keeping its guns on target. Pretty damn good. And there you also have the Serene. Serene's also trying to fire with the 2-inch on the bow, 2-inch on the middle platform. And there's another 2 on the stern. Although I'm not seeing those firing just yet. Okay, so for now it seems that we're taking some damage, but we're not really doing any damage, aside from that one torpedo hit. And it looks like the Renaudin has taken some damage, but overall is fine. Alright, let's speed this up a little, see how the situation develops. Seems like the French destroyers are not quite too interested in engaging just yet. There is, however, another spread going out. The enemy has fired a spread in return, the Serene. Oh, sorry, the Serene, not the Sirene, as the French would supposedly call it. I wonder when they spot these electric torps. Also, there's another smokescreen over there, so there could very well be another fleet hiding there. Another group of 5 DDs. Well, maybe not necessarily 5, because I don't know how the AI has set up their fleet. What sort of formations they went with. Also, what is going on here? Aha. The Verdun has managed to take a torpedo, but survived it. And sure enough, the whole bow seems to be inoperable. I suppose that at some point it maybe would be more likely to see a whole bow getting blown off. Which even in World War II, ships have survived. I believe it was the New Orleans that's got its bow blown off and then sailed all the way back to, I think, first Pearl and then Washington in reverse. So that was an interesting trip for them. Anyway, the Verdun has been able to survive that torpedo. Interesting. Aside from that, I'm not really seeing any severe damage to the French destroyers. It's hard to tell how the British are doing because I really cannot see that many of them. What I'm also really quite curious about is how the situation is going to develop, because we have 10 hours for this battle. And they don't have an infinite amount of torpedoes. Oh, I think I may have detonated the ammo on the Y over here. There is a spread coming in from the Y. The Sirocco just sent out a torpedo salvo in return. Who exactly it's targeting? I'm not sure. Is that the Y? Which one are you going for? Could be the Y, could be the Serene. It's hard to tell. Especially because I cannot click a ship and keep it still. Never mind. My bad. Sorry, they are all targeting the Serene. The Y has taken severe damage, but is fighting it. Floatability is going back up. They're pumping out the water. Something sunk due to structural damage. Apparently that was a ship that I have not yet identified. Not exactly sure how, but maybe a torpedo damage? A torpedo hit? That it initially survived, and then it did, after all, succumb to all the damage. So far, all French destroyers are alive. Some of the British destroyers have taken severe damage. Some of them have sunk. I think that so far the French are taking this thing pretty damn well. And despite the high volume of British torpedoes, I'm actually fairly impressed with how good the French are at avoiding the torpedoes, he said as the Renaudin just raced between these two torpedoes. That was a risky play there. Also, just look at how poor the French formation is. We got this group, the Renaudin, the Tempête, Commandant Lucas, the Guépard, and the Vauquelin. These guys are all more or less still in formation. And then we have this group. This is going all over the place. Enemy smoke spotted to the north. Alright. Yeah, it wasn't obvious that the torpedoes came from the north. Hello, AI. What are you doing? We're all setting up smoke screens. They're all setting up smoke screens. Good luck. This is amusing to watch. It's like one of those toddler fights. Where... yeah. I think you know the gifts that I'm talking about. Anyway, the leadership of the formation, the Mameluke. It is seemingly not giving up. It has taken a little bit of the damage to the stern. But aside from that, the ship seems fine. Maybe the AI is trying to re-establish formations, because now the Mameluke seems to be going for the enemy again. Look at this. These ships, the Sabotage, the Typhon, the Cassar, and the Bambara, those are the ships that are supposed to be in the formation of the Mameluke. Holy shit, we sunk another one? What? How are these things dying so fast? It must be torpedoes, because I cannot see any other ships. So I guess the French are getting really lucky with their torpedoes. And thanks to the sonar, we can see the torpedoes from the British coming. Which means that the Mameluke at this point is capable of turning around. I think that this spread is not looking like anything. Unless they're exceptionally slow torpedoes or this thing speeds up miraculously fast. But I don't think that those torpedoes are going to do much. Aside from forcing this cruiser, well, this DD to slow down. Seriously though, if this was the campaign, I would not be allowing the AI to manage my ships. I would be doing this manually. Because this is such a mess. I mean, at this point the Mameluke is also getting torped from behind by its friendlies. Still, the AI is doing a pretty good job avoiding all the torpedoes. But now the British are pushing in. Do they have torps left? Oh yes, they have plenty. There's the Acasta, which has 36 on the quintuple launcher. And another 13 on the triple. This thing has 44. I think this is a formation that we haven't seen before. And speaking of haven't seen, yeah, he has not seen the torpedo. And gets destroyed instantly. I think that sonar is saving the whole fleet. Because keep in mind, it's not just one ship with sonar, they all have that high tier sonar. And they're all capable of spotting all the torpedoes. And thus warning each other to stay away from the incoming threat. There's another salvo. If the Parramatta does not turn in time, that could be the end of it. It could be overturning here. Ooh, what's it gonna do? If it turns straight on, it should be fine. If it turns left or right, it's gonna be dead. Unfortunately, I lost line of sight. Where's the Vengeful? Oh, the Vengeful's pushing in. Seemingly. There's another larger torpedo salvo coming in. This is from definitely more than one fleet, or more than one ship. And once again, the French are just running away at 41 knots, easily ducking away from the torpedoes. Unfortunately, though, the Mameluke has taken severe damage. It has been hit by a torpedo. Ooh! You turned the wrong way there, buddy. That was 2 torpedoes on the Commandant Lucas. Now, this is the lead ship. What was the lead ship? Hold on. Is the AI shifting formation now? There goes the Parramatta. I think the AI might be shifting formation. Yes. The Sabotage is now the lead ship. And it's commanding the other divisions as well. It's commanding the division from the Sirocco and the Renaudin, which is currently the closest ship, the Renaudin. And it has sunk the Parramatta, which got hit by 1 torpedo. And also, I'm not sure if I've shown this before, but... no, it doesn't quite show. Sometimes you can see that the bow breaks off. It just snaps off as it's sinking. And you also sort of get that animation over there. Anyway, I've sort of lost count of how many destroyers are still alive from the Brits. For me, I can tell it's 14 out of 15 DDs that went into this battle. But for the Brits, it's harder to tell. Apparently they have at least 7 ships. And so far we're doing a bit of gun dueling. But it seems like most of the damage is just torpedoes, torpedoes, torpedoes. The guns so far have been capable of over-penetrating the enemy targets. They're doing some pen damage. We've had 1 ammo detonation and 13,000 points of damage came in from 6 torpedo hits. Uh-oh. Ooh, no, he avoided that. I don't know how many torps I have left, though. The Fleuret still has plenty. Tempête, 12. Sirocco has 17. Sape has 17. Tonkinois has 22. You can just tell which ships have been in conflict and which ones have not. The Verdun, 27s. 27 torpedoes? You haven't been fighting at all. Oh dear. There's more incoming. Tempête. Don't do anything stupid. No. Yeah, that was to be expected. Alright, unfortunately the Tempête got hit there. I hope that it can get the damage control parties to control the flooding, but it's not looking good. No, Tempête sinks. Yeah, the Tempête steered the wrong way. Currently, the Obdurate is taking a lot of gunfire, but seemingly it's not really doing much. Yet. And it has been able to get that quintuple launcher away. Hold on, that's not just your set, is it? There are more torpedoes here than there should be. This thing fires 5 torpedoes, but I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, actually. So unless there is a glitch or something like that, the Obdurate has been able to fire... Oh, my bad. It can fire 10, because it has 2 quintuple launchers. So it's perfectly capable of firing 10 torpedoes at a time. It's not a glitch at all. I just hadn't seen that it had that many launchers. Again, I'm wondering how this battle is going to continue if you drag it out long enough. Because if I dodge all the British torpedoes, then that means that the Brits run out of their most important weapon. And then I might be able to push in, use the guns. And well, I'm saying I because the French DDs are technically mine. But it's the AI that's controlling everything. And it's the AI that seems to still want to stay very much at range. I really would be surprised if it's the AI's thinking of, you know what, I'm going to just wait out all the torpedoes. I don't think that that's likely. I don't think that the AI is capable of tactics like that. A player would be. A human would be. But the AI of this game? Doubtful. Doubtful. Obdurate is out of visual range. Okay. Is the Sabotage still the lead ship? Yes. What? Another ship sunk to structural damage? It is a red ship, so it's not one of mine, so it's good news, but how? The only thing that I can consider is that it's another torpedo hit. And we're fighting mostly at ranges of about 6 to 8, but they have a torpedo range of 14. So it could very well be that we still have torpedoes which are continuing merrily on their way, while we don't even know what we're actually trying to hit. I mean, it could be that you're trying to hit a ship over here. Torpedo keeps running, and hits something in this smokescreen over here. And since the British don't seem to have a lot of sonar, they will be relying on visual identification of the torpedoes. If they're sitting inside their own smoke, that might be hampered. I'm not sure if in this game torpedoes are, or line of sight is being prevented by smoke screens. I know that it hampers your accuracy, but I don't know how much it exactly does for your capability to spot torpedoes and ships. Now it seems like the French formation is actually being re-established. Sabotage in the lead, Sirocco, Fleuret, Sepp, Tonkinois, and Verdun. Currently all sending out torpedoes. All pushing right against the British Obdurate over here. It's not the first time we've seen this ship. And right now it seems like the Obdurate is currently being missed by all the incoming gunfire here. Well, there's some pen damage, but it's not too severe. I wonder how the British formation is going to respond to all these torpedoes. I'm thinking that they will not be entirely aware, but they might have sent out their own torpedoes in return. Yeah, look at that. The whole formation is changing course. The Obdurate, the Laertes, the Nomad. And these are all the French torpedoes. Here, here, here. That was when the Obdurate was heading in this direction. Had it continued on its course, it would have been dead. Right now, not so much. But the French formation could also be in trouble, as the British have sent out a large swarm of torps over here. We've damaged the torpedoes on the Obdurate. They have 14 left on the quintuple. Oh, there goes the triple. Nomad still has plenty of torpedoes. Serene has sent out some. It's down to 18 torpedoes on the quintuples and 7 on the triple. And the British, once again, have the French on the run. Not so much that the French are in full retreat, but they're just trying to dodge the torpedoes. And with 41 knots and good hydro, they're actually pretty damn capable of doing just that. So I suppose that this time around you cannot really point the finger at the French and say, haha, you're retreating again. Not really. They're actually doing a very good job at avoiding all the torpedoes. The British, for some reason, are very aggressive and pushing in. Yeah. I was going to say don't be stupid. I was just telling the people how you were very good at avoiding torpedoes, and the Verdun sinks. Thanks to almost exactly steering into a torpedo instead of steering away from it. So I still don't exactly know how effective the AI is going to be. Look at this. How effective the AI is at steering away from torpedoes. Do you not look right? Oh, you completely deserve that. Cassar. You're not going to be making it back to port, sir. Although, credit where credit is due, the damage control parties are actually keeping this thing afloat. One way or another. Bambara, currently in fight with the Obdurate. Again with the Obdurate. This thing is still surviving. Once again, something has been sunk to structural damage. Do we have guns on target here? Yes. Seemingly we do. Bambara. Doing some damage to the Obdurate. Yeah, there's fire and flooding. See, this is the type of flooding that I was discussing earlier. This is the type of flooding that you can actually come back from when you have the pumps. If you get hit by a torpedo, you're going to have to pump really, really serious amounts of water. Otherwise, you'll be able to go down very quickly. Anyway, it seems like we're finally able to do some damage against the Obdurate over here. That took me long enough. It seems like the Obdurate might have all sorts of trouble. It's flooding, it's on fire, and I think damage control is being overwhelmed. There. Obdurate is finally down. Now, Bambara can change target. Very slowly turning the turrets to what might very well be the Laertes over here. And it's dramatically changing course. Yep, it spotted the torpedoes and is immediately reacting to them. The question remains, is the AI going to do something stupid? Are they in fact still going to turn into the torpedoes? For the moment, it seems like they're not. Now, I still have, what is that? No, 12 French ships alive. Not all of them are exactly combat capable. With the Mameluke and the Kassar not exactly combat worthy. But they are fighting. Oh, there goes the Y! What happened to you? Torpedo hit, 2486 damage. See, with this many ships, it's hard to figure out what is happening and who's doing it. It's a pretty intense gun duel here between the Kassar and the Laertes. What's their range? They're almost point blank. 1 kilometer. Ooh. They might be just 2-inch guns, but fire them enough at an already damaged ship and you're gonna take it down. And it's just passing behind the Kassar, which means that the Kassar does not have all the guns on target. But it's not the only one that's firing at the Laertes, because we also have the damaged Mameluke, which is trying to shield the approaching Laertes, or trying to dissuade the approaching Laertes. It's trying to turn. Have you sent out torpedoes? No, you haven't. What are you doing? This thing is listing to starboard. Has taken on severe water on the stern, but overall seems fine. Guns are all turning port. I just don't know if with this much listing... Yep, they can fire. The guns are firing. Damage to the funnel, to the torpedoes. Now it's the time for the Laertes to take some more damage. Oh, I didn't even see the torpedoes. Holy shit, he got absolutely murdered. And the Nomad does the exact same thing. And accidentally hits the wreck, or was about to hit the wreck, of that sinking British destroyer. Oh, that was glorious. The Kassar with that dump on the Laertes with the torpedoes. So how many British DDs are left? It's not just the Nomad, is it? I think I'm hearing a torpedo launch. Or it's just raining in the game. Yeah, Mameluke's still avoiding torpedoes. Don't do anything stupid. Thank you. I thought it was going to turn right into them. We're still... Yeah, Sabotage is still the lead ship. No damage. I think that this might be one of the last DDs. There is a smoke screen over here, which seems to be fading. And there's more smoke over here. And there. These could be disengaging British destroyers. Anyway, as far as I'm concerned, the Brits have absolutely lost this round. French DD still randomly throwing out torpedoes. Pretty risky if you ask me. And something else that I find... Well, I mean, it makes sense. The AI is following the other formations. So the formation from the Sirocco is following the sabotage. The thing is, you're not really covering that much ground. Or sea. So you don't really see what is going on and where it's going on. And with that, you don't exactly know where that last British ship is. I, for some reason, still have information on it. Oh. What? There's another British destroyer that just went down to a random torpedo. These electric torpedoes are so incredibly deadly because you don't see them. Especially if you don't have sonar. Now, supposedly, there's still something on the left. Yep. Something to the northeast. Sabotage considers going... Oh, that's southeast as well. The sabotage considers going left and then immediately switches to steady course. There. Click and then immediately straight on again. What are you chasing down? 10 times speed. Anyway, French casualties. Currently, we have 11 ships alive. Out of the initial 15 ships that we went in with. That is very impressive. Considering how many torpedoes the Brits were throwing our way, I'd say that is well done to the French. Now, with the 41 knot speed versus the, I think it was 38 or 36 from the Brits, the French should be easily capable of chasing them down. So they might actually be able to murder all the British destroyers before the Brits are able to run away. If we can spot them. And that bit could be a little tricky. It seems like we're getting... Oh, we're still getting smoke to the southeast. Where are they going? Judging by radio position finding, there could be ships all around. Because the game is saying there's something here, there's something there. Like that. It's like it's behind the sabotage. To the west? Yep. Definitely getting bearings to the west, but we have quite a few ships west. Including the former flagship of the fleet, the Mameluke, which is trying to plot along at a whole 15 knots. After having been severely damaged, especially to the engines. Anyway, I'd say I'm going to hand this one to the French. The French won this round. And holy shit, not by a little margin either. I think I've sunk at least 12 British ships. And potentially damaged some others. I have lost only 3 ships of my own fleet. And I can... Sorry, 4 ships. And I consider that to be a very impressive result. Especially considering that most of these ships have barely taken any damage at all. They're all perfectly healthy. Anyway, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed. If you have a good idea for a custom battle like this, then let me know, because there are so many different combinations that I can try out. Keep in mind, there is one thing. I can only build one ship class. So, if I go and leave the battle, let's say I want to have a fleet of a couple of destroyers, heavy cruisers, battleship, there. I get to design a ship, but I only get to design one class. Problem, because I was getting requests for, hey, do the Battle of Jutland. Yeah, I kind of can do that with the ship numbers, but I can only say I want to be the one that's designing the Dreadnought, or I want to be the one that's designing the armored cruiser. It's not like I can design a heavy cruiser, and then design an armored cruiser, and then design a battle cruiser, and then etc. Doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Anyway, that's all for today. Again, thank you for watching. If you like my content, then please consider becoming, as I am now calling them, the true fans, part of the 1000 Patreon supporters. You'd really be doing me a great service with that. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you soon for more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts.